All right, what's up, guys? How's it going? We're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff today. One is we're going to be going over a really smooth infield pickup and showing you what good verbal game, good um, teasing, getting the girl to invest, making yourself stand out. I'm going to show you how to do all of those things, not just on some YouTube video guy talking with a nice camera setup who's never shown himself actually talking to a girl, and you don't know if he actually ever has. I'm not going to be doing it like that. I'm going to be doing it by showing a real life example. So I'm going to be doing that. I have some text about this girl who I talked to for 5 minutes, and she invited me over basically to have sex. I mean, she implied it about as strongly as possible without literally saying we're going to have sex. So I'm going to explain how I did that and show the receipts, if you will. And then I'm also going to do something else. I'm going to do an infield breakdown, assuming I have time, assuming I don't get on too many long rants where I get really into what I'm saying, then I just keep going, and I'm at 2 hours after 2 videos. Assuming that doesn't happen, which it probably will. But assuming that doesn't happen, I'm going to also be doing something else. I'm also going to be making an infield reaction to some pickup coaches and showing which one is better. So the first topic that I want to talk about, let's see if I can get that working. All right. All right, so I forgot I was doing a live stream almost there. I was kind of like half asleep thinking about what I want to do, but I see no one's on it yet, so it's very easy to get lazier because you don't have the pressure of people watching you. There we go. What's up, first viewer? So one thing I want to do is I'm going to be showing some infield, and I want you to let me know uh, if the audio sounds good and if it sounds a similar volume level to my actual voice.
You don't seem bitchy yet, but that can always change. It's ridiculous.
One person I've met in my entire goddamn life. We're getting married.
Only if I can take half your money.
Okay, so can you hear the audio? Does it sound similar level to my actual voice? And is it too blown out? Let me know if I'm too loud on the mic. So just let me know. I have to know that before I actually do the infield breakdown. So there's more people coming in. So I'm going to show again. Just let me know if the audio is working so I can, because I don't want to fuck up the whole stream and give you a bad experience.
That's what I'm saying. You're
The audio's not working.
speaking unspoken words right now. Very chill personality and
Thank
very
you.
great sense of humor. I'm so happy we're in a new.
All right, so let me know. Do you hear the audio? And is it about equal level? Because that can also go wrong. So in this first video, what I'm going to be talking about today is why you need to get on the Sigma male grind set. I'm sure you've seen the memes. You know the iconic theme song of the Sigma male grind set. And I see a lot of that stuff as kind of a joke, a meme. It's not real or legit, but there is a degree of truth to being on the grind set and how that makes you more attractive to women and more successful in life in general. And I'm going to show you some receipts. There's a girl that I talked to for literally less than 5 minutes at a nightclub. I approached her. It went very well. She, for whatever reason, she seemed to think I was really charming and, just got along. And so what ended up happening is after that 5-minute conversation, I got her number. And then later that night, she essentially asked to have sex with me, right? She didn't say it in those exact words. I'll show you. But she basically made it very clear she wanted to have sex with me. And I turned her down. I turned her down because I had another priority. She was very attractive. It's not like I didn't want to have sex with her, but I'm on that grind set. And here's the thing. Men come at women with a certain desperation and neediness generally that turns them off. If you're struggling to get women, it's this mindset that women are a scarce resource, that our opportunities with women are rare and it's a big deal and it's special. That is why you are struggling. So this video seems like a very simple topic, but if you understand the mindset I'm about to talk about today, it will completely change the women react to you. It will completely change your dating life. And instead of feeling like you're pursuing women, like you're a beggar asking for money, right? That's what a lot of guys feel like. I'm a beggar asking for money. That's how girls feel. It's going to be the opposite. She's going to be chasing you. She's going to be pursuing you. And you're going to have situations where literally after a 5-minute interaction, she's inviting you to come home with her. You don't even have to ask her out. Now, with that said, I also had a girl who I made out with her more than a year ago, or I think it was exactly a year ago, because this was a really hot girl. She was a wealthy girl from Mexico, but like the wealthy part, it's very, either very wealthy or very not there generally. But anyway, very attractive girl. And she messages me a year after we met in a club and made out and like told me it was the anniversary of making out. Which is crazy, right? Like, why did you put that on your calendar? I mean, I don't mind it. I think it's really sweet. It's kind of romantic, but that's the kind of thing that happens to me a lot. And it's all because I have this nonchalant, not overly invested vibe, not chasing energy that makes women feel it's kind of like a vacuum effect where they want to pursue me. They want to chase me. And that's why there was this girl at one of the best nightclubs in Vegas the other day. I approached, we talked for 5 minutes, and I let her do most of the work, but I just held very piercing, strong eye contact. And when I looked at her, I was kind of thinking the thought almost that I want you, right? I was projecting that energy. I was feeling that emotion, because a lot of guys, when they're interacting with women, they're thinking logically, it's like, I'm trying to slay a dragon. I have this obstacle. I want to get into her pants. And what do I logically do to make that happen? But that's not what you want to do. And what I was doing here is I'm looking at her and feeling emotionally, like in certain, I can't really say it on YouTube, but, feeling certain emotions, actually feeling aroused when talking to her. And that made her feel something. It makes her feel butterflies. It makes her feel tingly. And she remembers that emotion, and then she wants more of it. She wants more of it. It's like a hit of a drug. She wants another hit of the drug. Most guys, when they approach women, there's no drug. It's very boring. It's very inert. It's very logical. And the girl's like, nah, he was fine, whatever. But he didn't turn me on. So what this girl ended up texting is, hey, love. And I don't know if you know this, but generally half black girls and Latinas, sometimes they'll use words like love and stuff like that. Anyway, we should hang out soon. I want to do a lot of things with you right now. And I said, oh, you do, lol. And then she says, for sure. I never saw you again. Same. I haven't left, but I'm about to go work out, lol. And then she invites herself. We can work out together, and then we can do whatever you want. We already kissed. Or she said, didn't we kiss already? And then she texted me again the next day saying that she was too lit. And the thing that I want to get across is that I was genuinely putting the gym over getting laid. And that might sound weird, but I'm doing a 30-day challenge with my life where I'm following a certain diet. I'm uploading way more YouTube videos, you might have noticed. I'm doing certain things, and I have to do them every day. And that's just a rule. There's no option. I am going to do these things every day. And so this girl's hitting me up at like 2 or 3 a.m. I still haven't gone to the gym yet, and I know if I bang her, I'll have a great time. But even though it's a workout, it doesn't count as going to the gym. So I decided to say no, right? I decided to stay on the grind set, if you will. And the underlying mindset there is that the most important thing in my life is my purpose. Now, I take action with women. I don't expect them to start coming to me magically like a lot of guys do. But I take massive action, and yet I'm still willing to drop a girl. I'm still willing to say no at a moment's notice. There will be girls sometimes who they say something that just really bothers me, like they start saying I mansplained or, whatever toxic feminine bullshit that some girls have, the toxic femininity, toxic feminism, whatever you want to call it. And I say, it was nice to meet you. I don't care how nice her ass is. I don't want that energy in my life. Now, that doesn't mean that my ego is so big that I'm rejecting all women. There are plenty of amazing women out there. And the guys who think there aren't, well, they need to touch grass. They need to get out of the house. But that mindset that you are willing to reject women, you're willing to put other things first. You have priorities, you have a purpose, and you're going to take the right actions no matter the situation, no matter how hot the girl is that, might be, I got to censor myself for YouTube, but no matter how hot the girl is that you might be able to bang, that's something that you want to do, but it's not your number one priority. And if it throws you off, you're willing to say no to it. If she has certain character traits that you consider toxic, you're willing to say no to it. And when you adopt that mindset, women will start falling in love with you in the first night. That has happened to me a number of times. Girls invite me to come to different cities, or they'll come fly out to me to see me again and talk to me about how they fell for me. They'll message me a year after we made out once, and they're still thinking about me. Things like that, and that happens because of this mindset. So I hope you found this useful. If you did, and you like the idea of a YouTube channel that is not just a guy trying to sell you a watch who has no evidence that he actually approaches girls, a guy who actually shows infield of him approaching women, a guy who shows receipts, a guy who's clearly living the lifestyle that I'm talking about, then make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button, because there really isn't much of that on the internet, sadly. And if you want to take things to the next level, the best way to change your dating life in a short amount of time is to take an in-person boot camp. Because watching stuff online is great, but you don't have leverage. You don't have skin in the game. So it's very easy to watch it, be in consumer mode, and watch the next video and not do anything. But when you make the commitment to meet a coach, to meet me in person, where I will push you to take more action in one weekend than you have probably taken in your entire life, your life is going to change. Your dating life will never be the same again. There's a reason that I have dozens of video testimonials. Like, I can talk about the results, but you don't need to take my word for it. Listen to all the testimonials. Look at the guys who lost their virginity to hot girls, that were able to build a rotation even though they weren't getting laid at all, that ended multi-year dry spells because of my in-person coaching. In-person coaching is extremely powerful. The only problem is, now that I'm putting a lot more effort in my YouTube channel, I'm already getting a lot more views. And that means I'm either going to have to increase the price a lot in the near future, or I'm going to have to take on more clients and hire assistant coaches so it won't all be me. But right now, I'm still doing 3-to-1 boot camp. So there's 3 clients and me, and that's it. There's not 20 clients. There's not 30 clients like some guys. You can't coach 30 people. It's just, you can't do it. There's only 3 clients, and you're getting my personal attention, and your life will be transformed in one weekend. I'm not saying it'll be easy, right? If you're a total bitch and you're like, I don't want to actually go approach and take action, that just sounds difficult. I'd rather mentally masturbate. Don't go, right? Don't take the call. Because if I hear that kind of energy when you take the free 15-minute call, I'm going to tell you a boot camp is not for you. I don't want you to waste my time. I don't want to waste your time. But if you're someone who is serious about actually transforming their life, if you're someone who's serious about actually getting results in dating, then click the link below to learn more about my boot camps and to sign up. I've been doing about 5-6 of these calls per day, and more than half of them sign up. So I'm getting booked more and more in advance, and I'm probably just going to have to increase the price. So while it's still affordable, make sure to click the link below to learn more about my boot camps. And let me look at the live chat. Would I ever work with a male feminist? I would definitely, if there was a male feminist who made a hit piece about me. I mean, Penguin Zero did. I wouldn't consider him a male feminist. But if one did, I would happily do an in-person thing where I put them out in the world and actually have them talking to girls, or have them observe a boot camp and see what I'm doing and see the impact I'm having. I'm thinking of doing a video about Penguin Zero. I'm going to offer him to come to one of my boot camps and see that I'm changing lives. What I'm doing is not just about getting laid. Pickup is not just, that's great. I mean, let's not lie. It's a nice hook. It's a nice bonus. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's about this living in this state of inertia, living in this state of escapism. That's what men are doing. Escaping to porn, escaping to video games, escaping to Netflix, not living a real life. Pickup is about living a real life, about getting you to live a life that you remember, that you have memories that was worth living, where you were growing and not just stagnating and getting worse and worse every year. That's what it's really about. So I would love to say, take Penguin Zero out, who called me a scammer, and have him see in person what really happens with my coaching. Have him see that, oh, this is not bullshit. There are millions of people, especially with an audience like his. He's a Twitch streamer. Guess what? He has millions of people who follow him who are afraid to even talk to a girl, who get no matches on Tinder, who get no one hitting them up in the DM or on Instagram. And when they do message a girl, they get blocked, who have no options whatsoever. He doesn't understand this because he's famous, he's successful, getting women, not hard for him, right? So he doesn't have that perspective. But his own audience, a lot of them are suffering quietly because having no women, having no sex, having no intimacy, having no dating life, guess what? It fucking sucks. Let's not pretend it doesn't suck. It really, really does. And that's something that I am helping people in a massive way turn around. And sadly, something like Twitch is actually contributing to the problem, right? Male feminists who are telling you you're toxically masculine, they're making men more afraid than they already are. That's what's happening. So I would happily take out a male feminist, but not to some internet debate. That's whatever, right? I could debate or do a call with Penguin Zero. That'd be cool. I might reach out for that, but it would be much cooler if I took him out in person and had him see me approach women and have him see I'm actually very, very good. But also I'm not pushy. I'm not, overly aggressive. Women are the ones that it feels like they're hitting on me. It feels like they're pursuing me. I'd love to have him see that. And I believe his perspective would quickly change when he saw what is happening to the clients, how it's changing their lives. Anyway, got on a rant there. I do have some other things I want to go over. Bro, Vamsy, you're asking for way too much permission. Don't listen to what some random wing said, okay? How does he know, right? If he's a guy who's got tons of receipts, and he's killing it, maybe, but saying avoid white girls. I know Indian guys, every Asian guys, whatever, who pull hot white girls. Some white girls are like, I won't date Indian guys. Sure. And there's some like that. And there's plenty who aren't like that. So you really gotta think for yourself more and not be so permission seeking. All right. So next we're actually going to do something really cool. We're going to break down one of my infields. This one's a really good one. We're going to go over an infield where there's a lot of verbal jousting, I guess you could say. Like there's a lot of teasing, right? We're teasing each other, outwitting each other. Well, I'm mostly outwitting her, but I'm basically getting her to pursue me by being in a way cocky, by being kind of arrogant, but in a playful, fun way, not in a try hard, overbearing way, which is something a lot of guys get mixed up. So you're going to see what really good verbal game looks like in this clip, the kind of verbal game that makes girls chase you, that makes them pursue you, that makes them look forward and be excited and like hope that they might get the chance to sleep with you, as opposed to being like, maybe, well, I'm kind of bored, so maybe I'll go home with him. No, it's not like that. It's like they're excited about the idea. So, and there's a lot of comments. Anyway, so where was I? I am on like 4 hours of sleep, so bear with me. For whatever reason, I just haven't been able to get as much sleep. I stopped. Actually, this is a kind of a topic. I stopped taking an antidepressant I was taking for years. It's an SNRI, so it affects your norepinephrine. And since doing that, I did have an increase in anxiety temporarily for sure, but I have so much more energy. I'm less tired. I feel emotions more strongly. Like, I don't know. I'm starting to think we'll talk more about this in a month after going without it. But I think these antidepressants might really stifle your life force, right? Like your energy. I think they might be a horrible thing, but we'll talk more about that in the future. Anyway, you're about to see an infield where the verbal game is really good, but also I'm having a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun, and that is infectious. You're going to see her get sucked in more and more to that vibe, to that energy. And that's what game is about. It's about being so charismatic, right? Being so charming, being so fun to be around that women get sucked in, that they're magnetically attracted to you. And then also adding the element of sexual tension so that the girl feels this increasing desire, this increasing need almost to sleep with you. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do. Did I say that right? Yeah. and that's what I'm going to show you how to do in this video. So with that said, let's get into the footage.
You don't see bitchy yet, but that. You don't see bitchy yet, but that can always change. It's ridiculous.
One person I've met in my entire goddamn life. We're getting married.
Only if I can take half your money.
That's what I'm saying. You're rare. Speaking unspoken words right now. Very chill personality and
Thank
a very
you.
great sense of humor. I'm so happy we ran into you guys tonight.
Aw.
This is really fun.
Yeah, it is.
I think that's kind of an important little comment. I'm so happy we ran into you guys, right? It's a rare experience for a girl to meet a guy who they can just let loose with, have fun with, who isn't serious, who isn't try hard, who isn't like needy and weird. Guys will approach them, but the guys who do approach them are usually all of those things. And when you're not, you're making the girl's day, right? Girls will say things like this. You will give them an experience that they will remember for a very long time.
I like him. I like the vibes.
Thank you.
You're a pig.
I'm a virgin.
That has no correlation to being a pig.
How could you possibly be a virgin pig?
Rooms are like tiny little buttons, like supposed to be like all like.
That's so mean. Oink oink.
All right. Well,
If I'm a pig, I'm a teacup pig.
You like
I like that one. I'm a pig. I'm a teacup pig because they're, one of the cutest things on the planet. Yeah, so we're starting this video a couple minutes after the initial approach. I couldn't find that part, sadly, but just so you know, what I said is I opened with something about how she looks Scandinavian, right? I started with that, and then we talked a couple minutes, and that's where the video starts here.
bastard is what you are.
That one does it, that one's
I'll call you as a
not the best. I am. But I think it's better to be cocky and successful than like humble and lame.
Why is your cock coming out? Oh, it's jealous. God.
I feel like there's got to be a that's what she said there, but why is this not coming out? That would be a sucky problem to have. That's an awkward one.
It's kind of funny because that's what she said is from The Office, and it's from a character that is not considered like a Casanova, right? It's from Michael Scott. I believe that's where it was invented. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But it's actually a good thing to do in interactions. It's a very easy, non-committal, non-pushy, just playful, easy way to kind of add a little sexuality into the conversation, to make it a little bit more sexual. And then you can often transition from that to a conversation that has more sexual tension rather than it being too logical and too inert.
I showed you mine. Show me yours.
I'm not like published.
Oh, it could be.
And again, so she's talking about, let me actually put my face in it. She's talking about how she's a writer, right? We bonded on that. And I showed her one of the articles I got published on a large website, no big deal. But I showed her that. And then I'm asking her to show me yours. So my mind is constantly associating ways to make the interaction either more fun, more sexual, more what's another one I'm looking for? More fun, more sexual, to have more tension, any of those kinds of things. And that's something that over time you can learn how to do. It's called free association. There are actually exercises that you can do to learn this. This is something that I teach in my online mastermind group if you want to learn more about the specific exercises. But it's a muscle you can build, and any good conversation, any good joke is really just free association.
It doesn't have to be like public. It can be for yourself, from your secret diary.
Wait till you get like blackout.
Huh?
Wait till you get blackout.
Then I can see your work.
All of it. Seems like full portfolio. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way.
I'll send you my published writer's portfolio. That
Your published writer's portfolio?
Okay.
That's why I gave up on Tinder. I linked my...
So something happened there that's very subtle, but there was a silence for about 3 seconds. And a lot of guys, when they have a chasing kind of needy mindset, they will not let that happen. They will not let there be a conversational vacuum. They feel the need to instantly, oh, she's going to stop liking me if I stop. No, if you assume that you have high value, you're not in a rush. You're not in a rush to have to say the next thing because you know she's going to stick around because you know you're high value and you know that she's going to want to stay and keep talking to you. That's the mindset that you should have.
Published work, didn't increase the matches.
There it is. So you do admit it.
Nowadays. I mean,
Never met someone on Tinder.
I'm out there now.
No, I can see that. Oh, you're so
I had one, yeah.
and like.
I guess it never
So you
disappears.
lied earlier.
I never said I didn't have it. I said
No,
that
you
you didn't
did.
have proof
No,
I
you
had
did.
it. I said you didn't have proof I had
Do
it.
you remember what you said to me?
Uh-huh.
You've been thinking about what you actually.
No, I just have a good memory. I'm very present to the moment, so I absorb what happened.
For 6 years or something.
Yeah, you just got to meditate a little more and then you'll know.
Fucking.
You'll know if you meditate a little more. Just got to meditate a little
Are we
more.
going to drink or are we going to stand here and talk?
I'm down with alcohol.
Because
I
we
like
can
alcohol.
have these conversations while we drink.
True.
I can talk about Zion all
I like
day.
her. Okay, I'm down with that. Here, well, actually,
like the
if you guys want to, go to my favorite bar.
All right, well, bad news.
Let's
Doubt it.
All right, you're following me. Actually, we're going back the other direction though. So I used to.
Yeah, that's how I got so shredded was to be a bouncer.
Yeah.
So I got down to 4% body fat
You're
for my bouncing career. I'm an orange belt in karate. Orange belt in karate.
It's off the damn chart.
Yeah, I know.
So do tell me.
I can't help it.
All right, I'm taking this one.
I don't gamble a lot. See, that would be arrogance. If I did something I knew that I'm actually going to fail and I still try it, that's just arrogance.
Okay, so you agree gambling's luck, not skill.
Except for poker. I have a close friend who he played poker professionally, saved up like $300,000, bought a store in the mall, and now he just oversees that store. He doesn't do anything, and he makes 6 figures just from poker, just with a store.
All right, people that play poker, they say it's skill.
Yeah, the ones who are good, it is skill. But if you do it casually, it's not skill.
I don't know what the fuck what I'm doing. Last night I went in like midnight, like right when I turned 21, went into a casino. I played blackjack and I was like, play like random buttons.
How much did you lose?
No, I went even.
Really? That's
No,
impressive.
truly, I know, right?
Maybe you're a natural.
Right?
Maybe you're a natural.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
You should gamble more.
No, that's
While
a
drinking.
rabbit hole. That's a stupid fucking rabbit hole.
You should drink more and gamble more.
Is that your plan?
My stepdad only lost about $100,000.
So one thing I want to mention about this clip is my voice is a bit higher pitched from back then, which is not ideal, but look, you don't have to be perfect with everything. It's okay. But that's something I noticed, which is interesting. But the other thing that is important to pay attention to here is I'm very enthusiastic. I'm speaking with emotion, with energy, right? I'm not like reserved and taking myself very seriously and very logical. That's what a lot of guys get stuck in when I do boot camps. A lot of the number one thing I have to help guys with a lot of the time is they're just so serious. They're just so serious when they talk to girls. There's no emotion. There's no variance in their tonality. There's no enthusiasm in what they're saying. And it just kind of takes away the energy from the interaction and it makes the girl feel bored.
$1 gambling in one day?
She was just asking about
That's a record.
Says you're the most innocent person you'll ever meet. And she was
Really?
like, people gamble.
Wait, so you're very different then?
So different.
Because you don't come across very innocent, to be honest.
don't.
No,
How do I come
not at
across?
all. Not innocent.
So that was a good line there. Okay, I changed the size, but that was a really good line. You don't come across as innocent because it's very challenging. Now, it's not mean. I'm not saying it in a mean, like aggressive, confrontational way, but it makes her wonder, like, what the fuck does he mean? Why do I not seem innocent? And it has a bit of a sexual implication, right? It has that's kind of the subtext. And so it gets her to start wondering and to start kind of running a loop in her mind, like, why is he saying this? And you'll see where it ends up going.
I'd say a nice word would be feisty. That doesn't sound too mean.
What's the mean word?
I don't know, but whatever's the opposite of innocent. I don't have a word in mind.
No,
I did have a word. Let me fix that. So I did have a word in mind, and it was, something like slutty, but I wasn't going to say that for obvious reasons.
I mean, I'm sure as a creative writer, you've got all the words.
I've got, what am I, Trump? I've got all the words, all the best words.
I'm sure you do.
Again, free association. So being witty, being charismatic, it comes down to free association. Whenever she gives me something, I'm able to find a way to, it's kind of like clay, right? Anything she gives you, you mold what she gives you, and you take control of the conversation. You get it to where she's reacting to you. So she's kind of trying to tease me and insult me, and then I'm turning it around by making this reference. So I've got all the words, I've got the best words, etc. And that's a skill that you'll develop by practicing more natural game, which means not coming in with a script, not coming in logical, and just taking a lot of action, doing a lot of approaches. And what'll happen is eventually the logical part of your brain will shut off, and the creative and the more creative part of your brain will take over. And then you'll find all of a sudden you're 10 times wittier, you're funnier, and that will come when you get into a flow state. But the other thing you can do is also to watch interviews with people who are really witty. Like one good example would be Craig Ferguson. Watch his interviews with beautiful women because he flirts with them and he's very clever, very witty, and just watch him. And then you'll kind of download an idea of how to be witty, how to be playful, how to free associate.
That's a fucking Trump quote. I've got all the, why do I sound like JFK when I do Trump? I've got all the words.
So tell me, what's the bad word?
I don't know yet. I can think of it.
And she really wants to know, right? So it created curiosity. And if you can make a girl intrigued, make her curious, she'll start have this desire to pursue and to start chasing you.
Well, you're not the opposite of feisty. You're the opposite of innocent. You don't seem bitchy yet, but that can always change.
I'm not gonna. I like that line a lot. You don't seem bitchy yet, which is basically, it's my way of saying, so far I like you, but I know that could change at any moment. So what I'm doing is, you could call it frame control. I'm creating the frame of the interaction that so far I like her, but oftentimes in my past, maybe I liked a girl, but she ended up saying something or acting in a way that I lost interest. So I'm basically saying that I'm not selling myself to her. I'm taking the frame of the buyer, not the seller. Right? The buyer, you go into a store with a bunch of TVs, and you're like, maybe I like this one. Let's see the features, learn more about it. But you're not attached to it, and you can always go to another one. Whereas the seller is like, I need you to buy this product. I need you to get this product. I need the money. You want to come from the buyer mentality.
That tends to come out later, you know?
No, I'm a nice.
Like, I've dated girls who are the biggest sweethearts in the world, but then like 3 months in, just like a switch flips.
That's called being fake.
Huh?
That's called being fake.
Some people are really good at it though. They hide it very well.
Are you telling me you can't see through it?
I'm getting better, but it's easy to get deceived by like when someone's just so beautiful and innocent and like.
Okay, so naive is what I'm hearing from you.
I have been naive in the past, yeah.
Currently?
I'm less naive, but I don't know, I kind of want to be naive because when you're naive, when you're naive,
Stranger on the street.
I'm fine with that. When you're naive, it lets you like get the highest highs. Yeah, you get the highest highs. And if you're not naive, you're closed off to the highs and the lows. It's like being a sociopath.
Remember when people are like, you're being naive. Like,
but sometimes they're right though, and you're about to get into like a disaster situation.
I mean, you are literally like when you're out of the disaster and be 80 and you're
Depends on how bad the disaster is.
Alright, I'm not talking about going like broke or homeless or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm just like mild emotional distress.
I don't know where it came from, but
So what I'm doing here, goddamn, I did that again. Okay, so what I'm doing here is it goes back to frame control. I'm creating a frame. I don't know, it sounds cheesy to me, but it goes back. So what I'm doing here is more frame control. Basically, I'm setting the idea that it's better to take risks and to get the emotional highs, even though you're taking a risk, than to play it safe, right? I'm encouraging that mindset. And if you think about it, what is that mindset? That is the mindset that if you're going to have a one-night stand, that's how you want to think. So I'm basically planting that idea into the interaction as opposed to making her feel judged, as opposed to being too serious, as opposed to being too logical. And that's a very powerful, it's more advanced, right? It's not something you need to do to have a successful interaction, but that's why I'm saying that.
Wouldn't you rather feel that?
Yeah, but is it ever mild emotional distress?
I mean, in the moment, no.
It's more like,
But like hindsight bias,
hey, you do know psychology.
obviously.
A lot. Okay, so I know a lot of
And I'm going to do that every fucking time. So that was an example of qualification, right? I'm saying, oh, I'm actually impressed. And there's a bit of the implication that I thought there's the implication that I thought maybe she doesn't know psychology. But I'm showing her that I appreciate that she said she's into psychology and she's not bullshitting about that.
majors. Okay, so
It's very important to have some qualification. If you don't know what that means, you're making the girl feel like she earned your affection, right? That you actually like her for her, as opposed to you just thought she was hot. And that's what creates more of a, you could call it intimacy in the interaction.
it was a really. So in my classes, like half the people in the psychology classes are on Facebook. They're not paying attention. They're just doing.
Care about psychology.
All right. So sadly, that's where the clip. Let's see. Sadly, that's where the clip ends. The rest of it, you can get the rest of the clip on my mastermind group, the Inner Circle, and that's the only way to access it. So if you want the entire clip showing how I actually pulled that girl, all the other stuff from the beginning, how I got her to start saying things like, you're really rare. I'm so glad I met you. You're so funny. I love the vibe. All that kind of stuff. If you want to see that, the only way to get it is by joining the Inner Circle. Now, when you join, you do not instantly get access to the infield. You actually have to complete certain challenges. So you have to go out and approach women in the real world, and then you get access to it. Because I don't want the Inner Circle to be more content where you can just consume it, not take action, and just be more passive. So if that's what you're looking for, the Inner Circle, it's not for you. But if you like the idea of being in a community that is all about taking action, where members who don't take action actually get removed, then make sure to click the link to learn more about that. And that's where you can get access to not only the rest of this infield, but many hours, we'll go with that. But also many hours of other infield, including entire polls all the way from the approach to taking the girl home. That's how you can get access to that. So click the link below to learn more. Let's see. Is there anything else I want to say about that? I have another topic. I think we'll just send it. Okay. So is there any other thoughts? And if you have any questions about that clip, about the video, now would be a good time to ask. And I can answer that for you. But if you enjoy this kind of video where I'm a dating coach, but I'm not a dating coach who has no receipts, who doesn't show infield of themselves actually approaching women, who, for all you know, might be living in their mother's basement, right? Who may have never approached a girl in his life, who may be dating threes, right? He might be going to Mordor to find his girls. That's a lot of the dating coaches out there. And if they're not proving they're not that kind of guy, right? If they don't have proof, they don't have infield, they don't have testimonials, they don't have receipts, they probably are exactly that, right? They probably are frauds. So if you like seeing a channel that goes beyond the surface level bullshit that is easy to hear, it like sounds nice, how to date your coworker, blah, 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 bullshit, the what you need that will make girls approach you. If you're into that, then go ahead and, subscribe to those channels, ignore me. But if you like what you saw, you like real hard-hitting advice, then click the link. But that's not how you subscribe, but then make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the comment and leave a comment so that YouTube is more likely to show this video to other people. I would send this to what would you send to Wheat Waffles? Yeah, fuck that guy. I'm going to debate him at some point. I'm definitely going to debate him. I'm going to destroy him. I'm going to end his career because he is a dilettante who does. Wheat Waffles uses psychological research to make all his points, but he doesn't even know how to read the actual source studies, right? He doesn't know how to read psychological statistics. He doesn't know what the study, he doesn't even know how to interpret the studies he's reading. And his interpretations are almost all wrong. And I can very easily go point by point and prove that. And I believe someone like him, I honestly believe that there is a positive correlation between people who watch black pill channels and who are more likely to commit suicide. I genuinely believe that. That's why you might be wondering, why am I posting so many more videos? Why am I putting myself out there so much more? It's because I've just had this realization that there are channels out there that are not only not helping men, but that are actively destroying their lives. There are philosophies that are spreading because they're so easy to hear. It's so easy to be like, yes, I am a victim. Yes, I'm a victim. I don't have to try. I can just lay like a little worm in bed and not do anything. And I feel justified in doing that. I don't have to challenge myself. Like, how many black pillars do you know where they're in good shape, where they hustle in terms of their job, where they've got their life together? They don't do that either. They don't try in anything. It is a mindset of self-destruction, of withering away into nothingness and becoming depressed. That's what the black pill is about. All right, I think I'm going to take a short break, have some water, and then I'm going to come back. Do I have anything else to say about that? And then I'm going to do another infield breakdown of some other coaches. So I will be back shortly. I'm leveling up. I'm making a lot more videos. I'm using a triple camera setup right now, although my lighting's fucked, but whatever. And you should expect to see my channel probably will blow up in the next few months. I'm filming more infield, all that kind of stuff. And it's these channels like Wheat Waffles are teaching men to be hopeless. They're teaching learned helplessness. They're teaching men to give up, which is a very easy mindset to adapt in a world, in a society, in a culture that is actively striving to make men weak. There's certain things I can't even talk about because I could get canceled, but think about certain issues that are getting more and more popular in terms of, let's just say, people's identity of, what gender they may be, things like toxic masculinity, things like the idea that men should be ashamed, they should be afraid, they should be weak, they should be consumers. That is the message that the world is putting onto us, and black pill enhances it and makes men even more hopeless and more useless. And I am fighting against that. My channel is fighting against that. And the sad thing is, I'm going to have to put in 10 times more effort to spread my message, because my message means you have to challenge your ego. It means you have to be open-minded. It means you have to take action. It means you have to level up. It means you have to get out of your comfort zone. That's a harder message to spread. Nice timing. But that's a harder message to spread than, no, just give up. It's not going to happen, little guy. Just give up. Just give up. Don't even try. You never fucking tried. That's the funny thing, right? These black pillars saying don't approach women. How many of the black pillars who watch those videos ever approached a single girl in their goddamn life? 1%? Maybe. But it's very easy to tell yourself you're a victim. So I will definitely be doing a debate at some point with Wheat Waffles if he's willing. But I think it will be a turning point in his career when that happens. Yes, that is a big issue with game, actually. All right, so I might actually just leave the stream going. It'll be a little dead air. Sorry about that. But I'm going to be right back in a few minutes after I get some water and then do the next video. All right, we're back. Remove. And I know it might sound a little like, dramatic. Like, my job, like saying that the reason I'm fighting the black pill is I believe it will save lives. I believe it will stop suicides. I believe that it's a very meaningful and important thing. That might sound intense, but let's say even if maybe I'm exaggerating, maybe it turns out I'm not right. Well, guess what? That mindset, that's going to give me the drive and the purpose to do what it takes to accomplish my goals, even if it's not true, right? That mindset is going to help me, and then it's going to help the men that watch my videos. And that's something that I would just think about in terms of any area of your life. How can you adopt that kind of mindset that might be extreme, but that actually drives you to take action, to achieve things that you never would otherwise? You are not exaggerating, you're describing reality. Yeah, I mean, look, the thing with Wheat Waffles, one of his biggest fans, Professor Waffles, he committed the biggest mass killing in UK in years. And he was a huge fan. Look, Wheat Waffles did not like say to do that, right? It's not like that was his direct message. But this guy was a huge fan, believed in the black pill. And there's been, I think now it's like 3 or 4, might be 4 mass killings associated with black pill with incels, right? So it's becoming a trend. It's becoming more and more common. And the message that someone like Wheat Waffles has seems to move people more in that direction, because hopelessness, if you're hopeless, what's the point in living? Why not go out with a bang? That's the mindset. So I wouldn't say Wheat Waffles directly caused that, but the chances that he contributed to it and made it worse, they're real, right? He may have caused it. I can't say that for sure, but he may have caused that with his message. It may have not happened if his channel didn't exist. And he doesn't seem to care. What is a fake cell? Because I've never heard of that term. The incels have the best terminology, man. Curry cell and shit like that. I mean, look, I really feel genuinely bad for incels and want to help them. Because a lot of what's happened, it's things that their mindset got that way, not intentionally. Their life is not like so shitty intentionally, but they need to learn how to take responsibility and to take action and to get out of the inertia that they're so deeply in, and then they can change their life. So a girl who, what do you mean by supports? Really depends what you mean by support. All right, so I'm about to pull up some more infield.
You can't look at me like that and not say hello.
Promotes it. I'm not totally shocked. I'm curious as to what exactly the scenario is with this girl, but I'm not shocked. No, not at all. There's women who are really into the red pill stuff who say women should stay in the kitchen and all that too, right? So I'm not too surprised, to be honest. So in this video, we're going to be looking at hidden camera footage of 2 dating coaches showing off their skills, if you will, showing them approaching women and, trying to seduce them. And this is a series that I'm bringing back. It was a very popular series on my channel called the Coach versus Coach series, where you get to see the contrast, you get to see the difference between some of these guys who are legitimately terrible with women. They have no game, and they give pickup a bad name. There's a reason why people think it's creepy and it has a bad reputation, because some of them are, right? And despite that, there are other guys who are legitimately very good with women, very charismatic. They give women an amazing experience. And in this series, we're going to separate those two. You're going to see the difference. And you also get to learn a lot about what a good interaction looks like, what kind of things you should be doing versus what a bad interaction looks like and what you should avoid doing. So this is an extremely informative series to watch. In this one, we're going to be going over Austin Summers and James Tusk. They both have a similar amount of subscribers. They both have tons of infield on their channel. And we're going to see if these guys are legit or if they are, crap. We're going to see if they are essentially frauds. So with that said, let's look at the infield. Okay, yeah. So with that said, let's look at the footage. I don't like the way I said that, but oh well.
Sorry, excuse me. You can't look at me like that and not say hello. That's awful.
Sorry, I was in a hurry. Hello.
Hello.
So that's actually a great opener, right? It's very cocky, it's very bold, and it's sexual, but it's blaming the sexuality on her, right? He's accusing her of hitting on him. Now, whether or not she actually was checking him out, that's besides the point, but it's a really good opener if you can hold the frame, right? If you don't get reactive, you don't apologize. If you can keep it going, that is a really, really good opener. Bro, use more white girl pulled for you know you're not wrong, sadly.
Sorry, I was in a hurry. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
With a. That's awful.
Sorry, I was in a hurry. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
With a very firm handshake.
Yes.
James.
Important.
With an equally.
James.
Well, it depends. It depends if you're meeting someone in a business context or for pleasure, I think.
Well, I think a softly handshaking either is not acceptable.
That's true. So you work as in the corporate sphere, I can tell. PR?
Really?
So he's getting in very close, which if the girl seems very comfortable and very receptive, which she does, is a good thing. Now, as soon as she gets tense or pulls back, then you want to create space too. But you also, like a lot of guys, they don't go in strong enough and the girl doesn't feel your presence. She doesn't feel your energy. So being in close proximity like this is actually, in this particular scenario, is actually very good.
Something like this?
With jeans and a jacket like this?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
No.
You clearly, on the other hand.
I actually work as a dustbin man, but I decided to dress up on a Friday and stop long-legged blonde girls like you.
Well, I was wondering if you found that in the trash.
So that was good self-deprecating humor. I assume dustbin man, I'm British, they have the weirdest fucking phrases, but I assume that's like a trash guy. And because he looks classy, well put together, all those kinds of things, him making that joke, it actually makes him seem higher value and higher status because he's not self-qualifying. He's not trying to brag that he's a doctor or whatever. He's going in the opposite direction.
Yeah, oh, here we are. The reverse pickup line, I like it.
Oh, is this a pickup line?
That sounds like a reverse pickup line where you're actually
But if you
pushing
were
someone
reversing it,
away.
there had to be a pickup line to reverse in the first place.
You're the one that looks at me, so we can only
A look
assume.
is a look.
Excuse me.
So far, that approach by James Tusk was really good.
There was a bee literally just chasing me, like 50 meters, and I was like, holy shit, this bee is gonna eat me. And then I saw you with your dollar bag, and you looked quite cute. What did you buy there?
So his opener, it was a little odd, like talking about a bee chasing me, but assuming it really happened, it was just what was in his mind, right? He's being completely organic and just saying what's on the top of his mind, which generally that is the best opener, right? It's not pre-planned, it's spur of the moment, it's spontaneous. And then he transitions when she's like, what's going on? He makes it clear that I'm interested in getting to know you. I'd also say Austin Summers has a very resonant, deep voice, which definitely helps. And that's something you can cultivate. Because if you look at my older infields, my infields from like 2019, 2018, whatever, there's a noticeable difference. It's probably like an octave difference in my vocal tonality. UMP always roasts other coaches. Like, well, look, it's a marketing tactic. If you say everyone else sucks and I'm the only one who's good, then people are going to have to buy your product. So that's what I think is going on there.
You're like a new student at U of T, trying to get your life together.
Yeah, pretty much.
My name's Austin, by the way. Give you one of these.
Do you go to UT?
No, I don't.
No, you don't. Okay. Well,
Am I just not allowed to walk on this beautiful street of Bloor? I'm guessing you study marketing,
no.
English.
Yeah.
So far this interaction, it's a little bit choppier than the James Tusk one. And I think that has a lot to do with the girl. This girl is, the girl with James Tusk was very confident and very she's instantly going into the banter. Whereas this girl seems a lot more shy, a lot more reserved, but you can tell by the way she's reacting, by the tone of her voice. She sounds nervous, but not in a bad way, in a good way. She sounds nervous, like in a feminine, kind of attracted way. And so even though it doesn't look as smooth on the surface, it's still actually good because it's just her personality being more shy.
A look is a look.
And you must have looked back. So
I do like a girl who's tall because it's not a frequent occurrence
yeah,
in
you're
London.
not that tall, are you?
No, I'd say your size would be taller.
5'11"?
A little bit taller.
6.
But without heels, you're probably shorter than me.
5'10".
4-inch heels?
3.5.
3-inch heels? Yeah, about even then. So do you do that a lot? That's very forward. I liked how forward it is because I was having a conversation with my friend. I don't like to use social media to meet people. So, and women are quite shy, generally speaking. But that was a blatant look. So I quite liked it. I enjoyed it.
So this is good too. What he's doing is he's saying, I like when a woman is bold. I like when they're willing to put themselves out there and be openly attracted to a guy. It's basically, he's saying he is doing the opposite of slut shaming, right? He's creating the frame that he likes a girl who is sexual, and that is going to make the rest of, his agenda, that's going to make seduction easier. So that's a really good frame that he's putting in the interaction.
You see someone who you think is quite attractive.
Are you calling me hot? Is that what you're
I'm
doing?
saying quite attractive.
Only quite?
Don't build yourself up too much.
What would you give me out of 10?
Where are you from?
That basic. I look at basic, but I said
You look
white girl studying English.
Russian. That's why.
No, I'm not Russian at all. Everybody thinks I look Russian, but I'm not.
Do you have an accent, or is it just you're like kind of early in the morning?
Fuck off! I don't have an accent. No, it's just early. Very early.
Yeah.
So you can tell she's reacting to him, right? He's like the oak tree and she's like the squirrel running around the oak tree. And that's the dynamic that you want in your interactions with women, at least, if it's sexual, because she's in the feminine role or the submissive role and you're in the dominant role. And that is the number one that is the number one sexual fantasy that women have, is a man who is dominant, who is unreactive. And a lot of guys, they're the one that is like the squirrel. They're the one that is being overly reactive, overly submissive, asking for permission. And that just automatically turns most women off, unless they have blue hair and they identify as a they, them. So if that's what you're into, definitely be submissive.
Last time I was up this early, I think Pluto was still a planet. I've been waking up at like 2 every day.
It was a bit of a corny joke, but we all make those, right? I make bad jokes sometimes. It happens. It's not a big deal.
But last night I walked from here to Dundas Square. So I was like exhausted. Look at this. Why wouldn't they be?
7?
Only a 7.
So him asking, what would you rate me out of 10? I don't like that. I do not like that he asked her to rate him out of 10 because it's very self-qualifying, right? She's already complimented you and now you're kind of sucking the fun out of the compliment. You're making it serious. You're making it logical and you're setting her up to now put you down, right? You're setting her up. She's not going to be like, oh, you're a 10. Oh my God. Like it's never going to fucking happen unless she's in love with you. And so you're kind of lowering your own value by doing that.
Look,
It's going to give you a 9.
Impressive. Oh no, don't put it up there too much.
Do you not rate yourself as a 9?
I'd say maybe an 8, 8.5.
Solid 8.5.
Yeah, let's go for 8.
And then he said, I was going to give you a 9. So now he's literally putting her on a pedestal, right? He's saying, I was going to put you as more attractive than you just said I was, which that's not a good dynamic to set.
Okay, so tell me, are you single or are you...
No, I just look at men, like that because I'm, collecting them. In my back pocket, actually.
In your back pocket? Must be a big back pocket.
Well,
Got a few in there.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Okay.
Are you single?
Grey area.
Ah, okay. So you're collecting in your
Bad answer.
back pocket as well.
Depends.
On who's asking?
Yeah, I guess so.
Right.
Terrible answer. So what he's saying here is depending on who's asking, I may be single or I may not. Well, what does that mean? He's basically saying I'm a cheater. I'm a liar, right? I am not to be trusted. These are not things that you want a girl to think. I keep hitting the laptop, but these are not things that you want a girl to think. You do not want her to think that you're a liar who's a cheater who may or may not be single, right? So that was just not good. That was terrible.
For you, I'm single. Absolutely.
Who are you judging?
For you, I'm single, but I might actually have a girlfriend who I'm going to be cheating on. Ho, 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 ho. That not fucking good.
Them? What was your name again? I'm horrible.
I never even said it.
One thing I like about Austin Zinfield is he sounds very nonchalant. So he's like, "What's your name again?" I'm horrible. So he does have a resonant voice, which is good, but he's kind of laid back in a way that it leaves the girl room to chase him, right? He's not putting too much effort in the way, like he's not trying to impress her or win her over.
That's kind of Irish. Why does everyone think it's Irish? Why does everyone think I'm Russian?
Okay, well.
Tell me about yourself.
Tell me about yourself.
I'm Austin. I'm in architecture. I play music.
Where do you study?
Ryerson.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, I'm just jealous. I'm just jealous that you get to go to U of T. You get to go to one of the smarty pants schools. Have you been here yet? Oh wait, how old are you? 18. And are you like from Toronto or no? Oh my god, I have really bad memories of Windsor.
Why were you ever in Windsor?
Where do you live in London?
Close to here. Where do you live?
Down on Bermondsey Street.
Interesting.
Do you know?
I don't know.
Village East.
Oh, I do.
Opposite there.
Right.
And you?
So in terms of body language, it looks like he's holding very strong eye contact. Like I said, he's in close proximity. He is kind of backing her against a wall, it's just there's this unconscious discomfort with that. That's not ideal. I would be at more of an angle. You don't want a girl to feel like she's trapped, right? So I don't like that. And I also, his hands behind his back, it's a little bit feminine, a little bit submissive, but to be fair, because he's backing her against a wall, it kind of makes him seem less potentially threatening. So it's hard to say whether that's good or bad.
I'm not sure where that is.
It's the street that runs.
So, but you're charging off, you're going the wrong way.
No, I'm going to Canary Wharf.
What's the occasion tonight?
Dinner with colleagues.
A Tinder date with a Tinder date.
No, colleagues.
So he's reframing and saying that she's actually going on a Tinder date. And, he's making things more sexual, not letting it be too logical, too boring. So I'd say overall, that's a pretty good thing that he's doing there.
Definitely colleagues. Mm-hmm. Canary Wharf would be a really bad place for a Tinder date, wouldn't it really?
Not on a Thursday, on a Friday, it'd be a bad place to go full stop because it's dead.
It depends if you like Motown at Boysdale, because they've got a really good band playing there tonight.
What type of music are you going for?
Motown.
Okay. Is this like, how would you dance to that?
So I'm an American, and I was living in LA for 6 months, and then I drove back here. And my friend, the guy who I was with, he had like a bong, he had like canisters of weed, but no weed in it. And just like all this weed paraphernalia. So they're like, okay.
I do want to say that as soon as it switches to Austin, I'm like less sleepy. Like the way James Tusk is talking, there's nothing bad about it, but it's kind of low energy, right? Like low energy Jeb. It's a little low energy, whereas Austin is a lot more engaging, right? It's partly just his vocal tonality, but it's overall the way he's speaking. It has more variety, more frequencies, more emotion. And so I'm instantly more engaged compared to James Tusk.
Okay,
which is obviously good, right? It makes you more intriguing to the girl. It makes you stand out, and it's giving her more value being around you than if you're kind of boring and yeah. I don't know how else to say that.
You're gonna have to, they got us out of the car, they like handcuffed us. They're like, you're being detained, you're not arrested, but we're searching your car.
Oh, okay.
So we sat in a jail cell for like 2 hours as they searched our car.
So you were coming from Detroit?
Yeah. So that's my memory of Windsor.
So it's different. But you like
Did you actually enjoy Windsor or no?
I don't plan on dancing.
You're not a dancer with those long legs on the dance floor.
It's Motown, you know. It's my dancing skills are not particularly great. What about you? What would you dance to?
I look like a dying octopus that's been thrown onto land when I.
That's another good self-deprecation. I like that that visual. I look like a dying octopus. So that's a really good line, because look, if you just say I'm a bad dancer, then it just kind of sounds lame. But when you use self-deprecating humor about something that you're not genuinely insecure about, it can be really funny, and it actually shows high status because you're not trying to appear cool, right? You're willing to make fun of yourself. This is something the red pill gets wrong, because they're often trying to look cool. They need to look alpha as opposed to being able to be playful, to let loose, and to just vibe with the girl.
When I try and move.
Okay, so I look like the octopus that's dead on the land, thrashing around.
So you could actually be a worse dancer than me.
Yeah, it's pretty likely that is the case.
But you're going to a venue with lots of dancing, right? So are you going to hover?
It's dinner and dancing.
But so you're going to hover on the outskirts, or are you going to sort of go in the middle and do a guy thing
It's
of
a really
like?
eclectic mix of people, so I don't think I need to worry too much.
not after the automotive sector collapsed and everybody got laid off. That was very tough.
Did you see like a bunch of your friends leave?
Yeah, now we have the highest unemployment rate in Canada.
That must have been tough for you.
Yeah, but now I'm gonna go to where I live, so it was nice to meet you.
I'm walking this way. Where are you going?
Right here.
What?
Look, right here.
Oh, okay.
There is
But on the real though, you do seem cool
it. Yeah.
with your attitude.
My attitude is pretty, scared right now because he just walked up to me on the street. So,
No, that's cool.
I don't know.
I feel you the same way. I got up at like 11 and I was just like, like I was gonna die. But you do seem cool.
Okay.
Have you been to Chat Time Tea before?
Yes,
Um,
I have been. Yeah, I'll give
Cool.
you my number. You text me.
is it spelled like this?
No. Oh,
I fucked it up.
you fucked it up.
But I do need to get a hustle on because I'm meant to be there in 20 minutes.
You are going to be hustling tonight, I can tell.
So, well,
That I
maybe.
can tell.
It depends.
Okay, well look, let's do it another time.
Maybe, although I'm not sure about the grey area thing. So when you figure that out, maybe I'll see you along here again.
I don't believe in fate.
Okay, so then I guess there's nothing.
Saying I don't believe in fate is like saying I don't believe in horoscopes. Yes, as men, we almost all know it's total bullshit. But guess what? That's like female crack, right? It's cracked for women. So saying I don't believe in fate, she's not going to want to agree with that, right? It's going to make things more logical, more argumentative, and it's not helping him turn around her resistance.
To believe in, and I have my way, and this was never fate, and
I can be. I'll take your number, drop you a message if you want to come out, come out.
So she's pulling away, right? She's actively pulling away, maybe, blah, blah, and then he's saying, well, give me your number. Give me your number. She's pulling away. That's not when you push forward, right? It's going to create more resistance. It's called, there's something called a compliance ladder, which means you're getting yeses and then you get more yeses. But there's the opposite as well. If you're getting non-compliance, resistance, whatever you want to call it, the girl's showing a lack of interest, you pushing more is going to give you more non-compliance. So that's very bad from a technical perspective.
when your grey area is cleared up,
I don't really understand.
the single grey area thing.
I'm dating.
Yeah, see, that was a horrible, horrible comment, and it ruined this entire interaction. Now he could still recover it here if he reframed it, but he's just, I don't know, he's either unable to do that, or he does not want to do that.
People, but I'm not exclusive. Does that clear it up?
Close it up.
Okay, so let's do something another time.
How about you give me your number?
No, it's my job to chase, it's yours to resist. Let me take your number.
It's,
If you don't want to, it's not a problem.
well, maybe I've not decided, so maybe that's why I want your number.
So yeah, exactly. I'll take your number, I'll drop you a message.
Well, no, because if I decide I don't want you to message, it's out of my control.
No, you can't decide that. You can decide.
Okay, let's have a debate. Let's have a logical debate about whether I should get your number. That is not seductive, right? That is not charming. He is being anti-charismatic right here.
Not to reply or not.
I'm a fuck up.
Yeah.
This water was so good.
I'm glad you liked it.
So liquidy.
For the real, like the OGs out there, he's making a reference to RSD Julian, where he did a speech where he talked about how you can make anything sexual, including water. You can make it, this water is so liquidy, and it's kind of, I don't remember the whole fucking thing, but it's pretty funny. Did it really help the interaction? No.
Is that French? All right, au revoir. We'll figure this out on another day.
All right, so he's coming with receipts, which is great.
And as always, a gentleman never quite remembers what happens.
Let's come out. That's up to you.
Or I decide if I want to message you or not.
No, it's not your job to do that.
Well, then I guess that's that.
Have a nice evening. Okay, so you just see me.
Oh my God. All right, so it's interesting. It's kind of hard to review, to be honest. This is a tough one because James Tusk's initial approach was very strong. He did a lot of things right, but he literally, overall, what he did is there was a girl that openly checked him out and wanted him, and then he got her from there to a rejection, right? He made her lose attraction over time, which in a way it's kind of anti-black pill, right? Because this shows how, this shows how bad game, how saying and doing the wrong things can lose attraction, right? The black pill, it's like they either find you attractive or they don't. If they find you attractive, it's going to happen. If they don't, well, no. If your game sucks, this is what happens. So he did do some good things, but overall, he literally made the girl reject him. And by the way, there's other clips that I watched. I can't make a 5-hour video reviewing all their footage, but I've seen him do this in other interactions as well. James Tusk, he goes very direct. He is really, his biggest strength is that he is good looking. He's in good shape. He dresses well. And those are things that, you can learn from to a degree, right? Maximizing your appearance. That's great. But in terms of game, he did a lot of things that are shooting himself in the foot. So he's someone who's intermediate, right? He's not a beginner. He doesn't suck. I'm sure he gets results. I'm sure he gets laid. But he does shoot himself in the foot. He does make a lot of tactical mistakes, and he has a fairly basic understanding of how to navigate the conversation to be charismatic and interesting and to make the girl more and more interested over time, because he did the exact opposite. He made her lose interest over time. So it was not very good. Now, Austin Summers' approach, it wasn't as good at first because the girl was kind of shy and he seemed maybe a little out of it, to be honest. Like maybe he was a little nervous about the fact that he was filming infield, which, it is nerve-wracking. But over time, the interaction is a lot smoother. He's a lot more engaging. And the girl kind of gave him a little tension or a little resistance, but he dealt with it so smoothly, so effortlessly. It almost doesn't feel like the girl was giving resistance, whereas James Tusk turned the resistance into it was nice meeting you, into a rejection. So overall, Austin Summers is a lot better. Now, James Tusk, he's not terrible. If you're a beginner, you could learn from him, right? You could learn how to get to an intermediate level. I've seen his advice. He does give a lot of practical tips. He does give a lot of good advice, but it's only up to intermediate level. Whereas Austin Summers, he's someone who genuinely has games, right? They're definitely on a different level. They're definitely on a different level. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And I know I'm reviewing other people's infield. And you might be thinking, where's your infield? Well, it's all over my channel, right? My infield's all over my channel. I'm not just critiquing people like, the guys on the couch who are saying, well, they should have passed here and done this play. What the fuck do you know, right? I'm not that guy. I actually do have tons of infield myself. And if you're interested in a channel like this that isn't about theory, about staying home and consuming just content and ideas, and it's not about results, it's not about action, then make sure to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button. Well said. So overall, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell button, and let me know in the comment section, who do you want me to feature in the next Coach versus Coach video? And before we wrap up this video, I do want to quickly announce that my boot camps are getting that was poorly said. that my boot camps are filling up. I'm getting a lot more views on my channel. I'm getting a lot more of these calls. I'm doing 4 to 6 calls per day for people who are interested in boot camps, and more than half of them, about 75% of the people who do the calls end up signing up for a boot camp, which means there's not a lot of availability, right? It's getting more and more pushed back. So if you're interested in in-person coaching, in me taking you out and showing you in person and showing you exactly how to approach women, pushing you to take massive action and helping you get more progress in one weekend than you've probably gotten in the last year, then make sure to click the link below to sign up for a free call to see if you're a good fit for the program. Now, I do want to make it clear, if you're someone who is not willing to take massive action, if you're someone who's going to make excuses when I tell you to approach, you're going to be like, she's not hot enough. If you're not willing to put yourself out there and get out of your comfort zone, then don't sign up. Don't waste my time. But if you're serious about getting real results, about getting out of the internet content mode and actually going out, approaching women, getting dates, getting laid, maybe getting a girlfriend, maybe, I still haven't had a client meet his wife from my boot camp. So hopefully, so that is still yet to happen. That's something I hope to see in the near future. But if you're someone who wants tangible, real success with women, then that is the fastest and easiest way to make it happen. I'll link a bunch of testimonials, video testimonials of guys who lost their virginity, had threesomes, had their first one-night stand, all those kinds of things. I'll link that below if you need more proof that I'm legit. But keep in mind that in the near future, I'm going to be booked 4, 5, 6 months in advance. So now is the time to sign up and take a boot camp. All right, video over. I'm going to start editing, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, I 100% agree.